Please, colleague Maletić.
Hello, good day. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Mr. Padoan, to be able to talk with you today. I would like to ask you about smart fiscal consolidation. Recommendations under smart fiscal consolidations are very clear. It is clearly said, do not increase taxes which increase cost of labor, do not decrease capital investment and development projects, do not decrease investment in education, science, innovation, do not slow down absorption of EU funds. These are all ingredients to boost economic growth. In many countries, in many cases, we see governments cutting exactly these costs in order to fulfill deficit target. How to stop this? Do you and how intend to encourage governments to do smart fiscal consolidation and not only fiscal consolidation because of fulfillment of fiscal target?
Thank you again for a very stimulative question. You mentioned, appropriately so, both taxes and spending cuts in times of fiscal consolidation. On taxes, as you already suggested, there are ways to have a budget-neutral tax switching operation, which would move tax pressure away from growth-enhancing factors, most notably employment, companies and investment measures. This can be done. Indeed, this, in my view, is not just a budget measure, it is also a structural measure. And indeed, you are probably familiar with the fact that recently the Eurogroup has been looking at how tax wedge reductions have been implemented in euro area member countries. This is a first early exercise, which, however, in my view, is extremely useful because it introduces exactly the connection between structural and budget measures into a macroeconomic environment, which is the way we should go. On spending, you raised a very important and painful point. That is, if there is a very strong pressure for countries to consolidate the public finance profile, then if you are under pressure to do that quickly, you are going to cut those items which you should, in a different environment, protect and abstain from cutting. How can we address that point? Well, of course, you would have to be specific, but there is one general point which I draw from your observation, which is very simple. It matters very much the time profile within which you pursue fiscal consolidation, so that there is a different kind of pressure to consolidate and understand the medium to long-term implications of, say, cutting investment in education. We know that if you cut investment in education, your long-term growth rate will go down. And there is huge evidence that says that. So, again, you have to weigh the short-term benefits in terms of fiscal consolidation with the long-term costs. And this should be an element which would desire more attention. Of course, in the recent past, in Europe and elsewhere, many countries have been pressed to address fiscal consolidation in a very short time horizon because of market pressure. This leads me to another consideration, which may sound obvious, that countries should avoid finding themselves in situation of heavy market pressure. So they should. This is why it's important to continue assessing your fiscal sustainability, so that if you are in the position to have to cut your spending, you can do that not under pressure, and therefore select much better the items which you're cutting rather than others. So this is, again, reinforcing the needs of having a long-term horizon and being as much as possible always in the condition to have sustainable public finance, so you're never under market pressure in any situation, ideally at least.